guess it's mega question time, huh? The first, Justin Angel, attorney, where'd your parents go wrong?
Gotta fight back, man.
Okay. And one quick one for the, well, I'm not sure, is it Congressman, Doctor, or Scott? Scott? Good, okay. Scott, what I want to know is the problem that I see is that this country, and I've been involved in politics since I voted for George Wallace in '68. Well, never mind. I see that the country is so polarized. I don't see how we're ever going to return to what the majority of the people in here remember. I mean, most people here are older. You know, I look back to the 50s when I grew up, and I literally thank the Lord at least once a week for having blessed me with being born in the 50s in the South. And I don't see that there's any hope because of the polarization. I mean, the Nancy Pelosi's of the world, the Barney Franks of the world, the John Kerrys, those people are never going to change. This polarization is just going to escalate. It's going to get worse and worse and worse. And I'd like to know what your position is. See, the solution that I see, and you're kind of with the bad guys on this one, is for Tennessee specifically to start acting like the sovereign state that it is and tell the federal government to take a long hike off a short pier. Now, I am encouraged to some extent because there are some states that are doing things like declaring that gold and silver are legal tender. Kansas, I don't know if you saw this yesterday, but the Attorney General of Kansas told Eric Holder to go pound sand with him telling Kansas that their recent law about, you know, not allowing the federal, I like federals, because that's what Confederates called the North during the war, the recent unpleasantness. Kansas is not going to allow the federals to come into Kansas and do anything with firearms. And I think there's another state or two that have done the same thing. And to me, this is the only way to get our country back, is to enact the 10th Amendment finally. And for states to start acting like we're sovereign and we don't want to be ruled from Washington, D.C., and the good people of Tennessee know how to run their schools on a local basis. And all these other issues, we don't need some pinhead, overpaid bureaucrat in Washington tell Tennesseans how to run our lives. Now, how do we get away from that polarization, Scott?
I think that what we're going to see is more and more involvement with states' rights as we move forward, as we go further and further in debt. States like California that are bankrupt beyond repair, and other states that are soon to follow. So for the country to get back on track, in my opinion, it's going to take, one, that we do the responsible thing, pass a budget like we did this year through the House of Representatives that balances in 10 years. That'll never happen because the Senate won't allow it. They passed a budget that never balances. We're going to go to conference and try to come up with something. But if we were to do something responsible that would fiscally get us back on track, then I think that we could see the polarization end and things move forward in this country the way it should. Second thing that I think can and will happen sooner than later is that the country is going to go bankrupt. And what's that going to cause? We're going to see these programs that I was just talking about be unfunded, and people are going to have to go back to work if they can. A lot of people right now are not working because they're not being made to work. And all the freebies and the benefits that have been handed out by this administration and the past are going to go away by necessity. And that's the harder way to do it. It's going to be hard if we pass a budget that balances as quickly as I said. I don't know that it'll happen, but we got to do something. The harder way is to see basically a downgrade or a collapse of this country, much like what happened in the Soviet Union. None of us want that. I'm not advocating that. But it's going to probably take something that extreme to wake this place up across the nation. people are going to continue to take as long as it's given to them. We're out of money, folks. We're broke. We're going further and further in debt. And you know, the third thing that we absolutely don't want to see would be a major conflict, a world war type thing that would shake things up around here to the point that people operate more responsibly. So none of those sound very good. The first one would certainly be the best way that we actually act and behave responsibly. I don't know. I'm not seeing it right now in Washington, but I hope that we see it soon.